It's Bill Gates' bio milk. So, like the story is about the shortage of baby formula.
Yeah.
And obviously, Bill Gates is invested, along with Jeffrey Epstein, Richard Branson, Stalin. They all invested.
All the favourites.
They invested in this bio milk as well. Right. So here we go. We got some good memes.
It was made in Himmler's lab.
The recipe came from Hitler.
No, it was Himmler, man. Himmler was a fucking weirdo, like with experimentation. He was sometimes, maybe some would say, even worse than Hitler.
It's probably much worse. Bill Gates received 3.5 million in investor money for his lab-made baby milk startup. Then Gates Foundation paid The Guardian 3.5 million immediately. The Guardian published a hit piece criticising breastfeeding as bad for mum's mental health.
This is what I mean. But the media, they're literally just paid off, like, to just spout whatever dribble someone else wants to fit their agenda. That's all it is.
I'd love to see the actual paper trail for that. 3.5 mil in, 3.5 mil out straight to The Guardian.
So what is this, like 3D printed milk, or what is it? I mean,
It even said when they make this bio milk that they take milk donations from local women, and then they like sort of like analog synthesize it in a lab.
Throw some nanotech in it.
Yeah, just another good
and
shit.
Electrify it or do it with some weird process.
So here it is, NPC formulation. Cow and Gates Soviet Union first infant milk from birth, breast milk substitute. It's harmful. Over 2 months of experience.
Look at that, it's graphene.
Black milk. So the Bill Gates connection behind the dire baby formula shortage in the US. The United States is currently suffering a major crisis that is pushing the lives of infants in danger. Baby formula, an essential commodity required in the households with infants or toddlers, is running short. Sorry, I've skipped. Is running short in the United States. So we've heard about this, but people are obviously looking into the timelines a little bit more because more memes are being made and more information is coming out about the lead up to this happening, the shortage, and obviously, you know, Bill Gates has got the solution.
So why is there a shortage?
Well, there's two.
Is this to do with these factories and going up?
There's two things you could say. The US's biggest baby formula factory has been shut all throughout COVID 1984.
Right.
But also, there's obviously a whole new market of people for breast milk formula that cannot breastfeed because they don't have breasts. They're called men.
Yes, very
Same
true.
reason that there's a massive shortage of HRT, human hormone replacement therapy, which women who are going through the menopause take, right? Why is there suddenly a shortage? Well, if there was a whole new customer base who have just started doing hormone replacement therapy, who didn't used to have a menopause before. They don't have a menopause now, but they need to take that. They're called men too.
Yeah.
So I would say that might be something to do with a shortage of these female specific products that are suddenly becoming in short supply. Maybe, I'll just put that on the table with the rest of the rabbit. So this is good. Bill Gates invests in a pandemonic. He invests in Britney Spears. Then a pandemonic happens. Bill Gates invests in lab-grown meat. Then food shortages happen. Bill Gates invests in lab-grown breast milk, and then a baby formula shortage happens. We can obviously see a pattern emerging here, and here are some timed articles to prove it. 2020, Bill Gates' climate change investment firm bets on lab-produced breast milk. So that was June 16th, 2020. Bill Gates and Richard Branson are betting lab-grown meat might be the food of the future. That was back in March 2018. That's actually on the 322 date, if you see there, March 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something from Gavi. Obviously, we all know the forecast that Health Chancellor Gates has made about Britney Spears concerts versus pandemonics. So, yeah, and on the left here, is that Phil Mitchell crossed with...
I don't know.
Crossed with Greta?
It looks a little bit like Putin, Greta, and Phil Mitchell.
I don't know who this is.
Putin, Greta, and Greta. It looks a little bit like Putin, Greta, and Phil Mitchell.
Crossed with Greta.
Putin, Greta, and
And Phil Mitchell.
I think there's definitely a bit of Phil Mitchell in there. It can't just be Putin.
Clean-shaven Phil Mitchell.
Drink corn syrup baby formula, bigots. Don't know where I got that from. Here's like a depleted NPC. Please, I need some baby formula for my infant child. And this guy, I can't remember his name, he's a US senator. Clearly you are failing to grasp the importance of sending aid to Ukraine. Yeah, so $40 billion, we'll send that to Ukraine.
That's a lot of cheddar.
That's a lot of baby formula.
Yeah.
I wonder how soon that bio milk with a Q is going to be on the shelves.
With the Schwab tech in it.
Oh, imagine that. It's not going to bode well. As if that formula is probably already filled with really nasty shit.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, like really bad. Probably made by Nestle and companies like that, Johnson and Johnson.
It'd be interesting to read the warning sign on the jar or tin or pot or whatever it is.
Definitely.
Of the side effects and
side effects
of the milk Q.
The Pfizer effects.
The milk
of bio milk.
Three heart attacks, 33 hospitalizations, Spanish half marathon. Media blames the weather.
Sponsored by Michelle.
It's a global climate warming change sneaking up on you.
Sponsored by Michelle Pfeiffer. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about Michelle Pfeiffer. So, yes, a marathon here. Massive coinciditis attack. 33 hospitalizations. Wow. Doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Is that legit or not? Was there actually 33 hospitalizations? It's clearly bullshit, isn't it?
Don't know. Depends
how many times can 30, or are they doing this deliberately?
Depends how accurate the technology is.
Are they switching on the 33 peasants? How do they? Is it like a raffle? How do they pick the peasants? How many activate their Schwab tech?
How many different choices have we got here? Right, there's obviously something going on at these sporting events and mass events with people that are doing exercises and activities where their newly installed fourth industrial revolution technology doesn't agree with their increased heart rate. Right. Yeah, that's definitely happening. But if these 33s are real, then the only way that they're happening at this rate is if this is being controlled.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They're either the people in the media, they're part of the cult, are putting the 33s there to take the piss out of us or to signal or just as part of the ritual to keep
when it might have been 28, they might be like, but just throw 33.
Or 40, or maybe 5.
Yeah.
You know, how do you know? They said 33 people were hospitalised. And there was
5,000.
Look, there might have just been 3 heart attacks. And then some other people went to the hospital. Oh, let's get a 333 in there just for good measure.
Yeah.
You know how I understand this? It's because I do the same thing, but I use 33 for a different intent.
Of course.
You know, we're chucking. Oh, is that running out of
battery low? Look.
Get the charger from down there. You know, we're using 33 for positive manifestation. So I understand why you would want to chuck an extra 33 in there. It makes it more powerful if you're trying to achieve something.
Which we all know that's what the media does.
So
it's Anita Beehole how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, Anita B. This is another Anita Beehole story. Oh no, this is Horace Art Attack. I don't know. before we look at the awful content of Clown World, we like to fire up a device called the catalytic converter. This piece of ancient Ramesh technology basically means that all of this terrible Clown World media, we can use it and fuel this machine to try and have some spiritual, or at least maybe not progression, but we can at least get some comedy out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, there is quite a lot of sludge. What do you think of Musk, Billy Watson?
Definitely think he's not on our side. He's an interesting character, but I think there's obviously people above him. I don't think he's a great genius that he's made out to be. And he's just a puppet, really. And he's serving a particular agenda, but it's good in some ways. It's kind of weird. He'll say things like, I think somebody pointed out, he said that there's a firmament and the earth is flat, or he'll say the virus, Fauci needs to get arrested and stuff like that. So it's like, seems to be on our side. I think he's probably controlled opposition, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree. I think, but he's definitely playing an interesting role in the pantomime, is the way that I'd say it, I guess.
Yeah.
He's kind of doing the Trump thing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, old Godvaj, one of our favourite YouTube creators, or Godj Vlamast.
That
is not how you pronounce it.
No.
Anyway, he was talking about the 3 orders of the Knights of the Realm, which was like, let me get this right. There was obviously Knights Templar, Knights Hospitalier, and the Teutonic Knights. And he basically said...
Teutonic Knights.
He basically said that Musk, Trump, Putin, let me get this right, and Hitler...
Careful now.
...were Teutonic Knights. And he said they'll take... And throughout time... and obviously others. And then he was listing the people who were the Knights Templar and who were the Knights Hospitalier. And it made a lot of sense. And he was saying these 3 orders fulfilled different roles, and maybe one of them at a certain time in history will play the Enki energy of the Lucifer energy, the revealer, shining the light on things, the knowledge.
Well, kind of like our friend Donny did.
What, DJT?
Yeah, he was. He shone a light on a fair few things.
That's the thing, like...
I thought it was brilliant. Like, whatever people think of Donald Trump, that fucking...
It was great. At the time, what was going on...
Presentation,
it was great.
When Hillary Clinton was there, and he said, talking about, like, the children going missing from Haiti, yeah. I thought that was brilliant. Like, look, out to all our friends right there.
I would say Boris Johnson, the Teutonic Knight as well.
So that's there. There's definitely... I remember I've brought this up on the show before. The intro to Rise Above, before we'd even done one show, there was like the pre-thing saying, and it was a little video of you talking what we're going to talk about.
That's
and
episode 0. You know, I've still
episode
got that.
0. And there was you said on there that there was war in factions. So that is clearly a war in faction.
Well, yeah, they're competing factions anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and they,
No, definitely.
like Putin, I'm sure. Whatever you think is irrelevant. I'm just talking about. I think, he's not part of the same faction as your Donald Trump, or do you know what I mean? He's.
Well, Godvaj said he.
Or your China. He's opposing the. The Soviet Union's faction, basically. He's not playing ball with the Soviet Union.
No. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I was talking about warp speed earlier on, and I guess that. Maybe if you could say that the Soviet Union's role was one sort of plan of what all of these Knights of the Realm are working towards.
Maybe they are all working together, all the Knights of the Realm.
But if you put it like this, right, we've already
talked... like a different branch.
Yeah, different branch. We've already talked about the idea that maybe the whole Soviet Union, and maybe even the Great Reset, were actually designed to fail. A plan so stupendous and evil and obvious... Like, they're so obvious they almost tell you they're doing it while they're doing it. Well, maybe their plan to fail. Well, what if Operation Warp Speed was like his... Oh, see their plan. They think they're running the show at the moment, but their plan's shit and it is destined to fail. Let's speed that up.
We'll drop one.
Let's speed that up so we can get to the next stage of the plan where we're going to be in control. To me, that's what it always felt like.
Right, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Good angle.
Because it's like, okay... This Knights Hospitalier, or say the Templar Knights Order, well, they've clearly been running the show for like a long time, running the banking.
Who was it we were talking to on the show? They said that they're all running out of time. That's why they sped it all up.
Allegedly, Dave.
That was allegedly Dave, yeah.
He said that special priest class. He said they
Yeah.
made a pact 500 years ago or something like that.
That's right. And it was coming up to the agreed upon.
So it was running out. Have you listened to Allegedly Dave much, Billy?
No, I remember I came to see him, and then he told me the news that he couldn't make the event.
Yeah, I've never heard from him since. He hasn't replied to any emails. I hope. No, I know he's all right because he appeared in the pub in Bournemouth last week.
Did he?
Yeah,
We should have gone and said hello.
we should have. It was on Tuesday night
You
or
didn't
something.
tell me that. We should have gone down there.
Oh, sorry for this.
Got a link for Godfrey on there.
His name is actually Hojle Valamaster.
Wow, you could nail that. That's pretty good.
I have to say.
I wonder what Wim would shout out to Wim. I wonder what he would say if he just heard you pronounce his name like that. I wonder if that's like nearly right or really wrong, or I wonder what scale of.
I think you have to be Flemish to pronounce it properly.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, where did we get to?
Did we? We're not on the screen.
Okay, let's have a look here.
I think did we even discuss the previous?
Oh
we
no,
didn't,
no, wait. So yeah, Elon Musk. No, we didn't.
Enki.
Musk. We didn't even actually chat about what was on the screen. He says any parent or doctor who sterilises a child before they are consenting adult should go to prison for life.
That's what I mean. He's getting everyone on his side.
What, just by telling the truth, pointing out the obvious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, does this deserve a
And
medal?
obviously you've got your 33s there, and there's behind this, because I do this is to get rid of the graphic. There's another 33 here, 335.
Double 33.
Double 33.
Well, he obviously chose the time.
I mean, they should have put 9, where it says 4,000, they should have put 911 here, just to really give it something.
Get 666 in there for good measure. And on the right, what else have I juxtaposed along with that the day before? The world's largest banknote printer says printing money isn't that profitable anymore. So, wait a minute. Billy, is that proper clown world or what? Printing money isn't profitable anymore?
Yeah, but we all just live in clown world. You know, as you said with the different writers, you know, they're taking the piss. You know, they're mocking us big time.
What's he called? Hui Lung Tang. Well, maybe he's Chinese, sat there printing out those Chinese,
financial branch.
those Chinese super dollars. Do you know about that?
No?
Well, I watched this years ago, and they said that basically, because for anyone that's ever handled American money, right, you can see that it's physically shit compared to most other money in the world. It's printed to a poor quality. It's printed in one colour ink.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any fucking holograms in it. There's no metal lace through it.
Highly satanic imagery, though. I'll give them that.
Yeah, but as far as money
Well
goes,
designed.
it's actually very, very unsophisticated. Henceforth, it's very easy to forge. It's some of the easiest money in the world to forge. That's why for anyone that uses dollars, as I do sometimes, you'll know that if you've got the slightest crease in a dollar, the slightest crease right in the corner, they won't accept it. You can't use it anywhere. The dollar's basically useless. Just a fold in it. It will not be accepted.
They fucking love that shit abroad, though, don't they? In certain countries, South America.
Yeah,
They start paying American dollars. They fucking
in
love
movies,
that shit.
in movies, they pull out like a ball of dollars out of a pocket and go,
Yeah.
"Here you go." That's bullshit. Try and use those dollars, no way, right?
Mate, when I've gone snowboarding, I've given the bartender really fucked up notes. They've been in my pocket all day, been soaking me wet. It's fucking
Not dollars,
take it.
bro.
Yeah, in America.
In America,
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Loads of times when I've been snowboarding.
yeah, but I'm talking about anywhere else in the world.
Oh right, okay.
And
right,
any
gotcha,
other country
gotcha.
that uses dollars. Yeah, not in America.
Sorry, I'm up
But
to
anyway,
speed.
the story is that there's something called the Chinese super dollar. And basically the Chinese have been forging dollars for decades. But the point is they can do it to such a standard that the Federal Reserve can't even tell what's a Chinese super dollar and what's not. And they reckon that because we know that the physical cash is very low compared to what's going on in digital swampland, well, they reckon that no one really knows what amount of physical dollars are real or Chinese super dollars. It could be half. It could be 90% Chinese super dollars. Because
They could be propping up the USA economy.
but they could be propping up the world economy.
Wow.
with Chinese super dollars. But guess what? When they tried to crash the world economy in 2008, the only thing that kept it going, they reckon, is the illegal drugs trade that runs on cash, which will be dollars. So it's like the criminal of the world using dollars still, which are probably Chinese super dollars and just worthless piece of paper, like all money is.
Yeah.
But that's probably what's keeping the world economy going.
It's retarded, right?
Proper retarded. It's clown world.
I like it, though.
It's the economy. Hello, welcome. You're through to Rise Above.
Oh, good evening, bro. I know all the code words. Do we still have to use them?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We need to use the code words more than ever.
You'll get fined 10 peasant shekels per swear word.
Is that Matt?
Oh, that is Matt. Yes. Hello,
Hi.
bro. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, mate?
Oh, mate. I've just spent the past 4 days inside the belly of the beast in Yeovil District Hospital with my poor sick mother, and let me tell you, it's arm spear fucking central reaction inside there at the moment, my friend.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, right, okay. So
Covey
my mum went
corpses
in
all
there-
over the place.
you know, literally, it's like The Walking Dead inside there, bro. It's fucking mental, right? My mum went in there on Tuesday. I arrived on Wednesday morning. The 3 women opposite her. You've got a 60-year-old who didn't move for 2 hours. They checked her resting heart rate. It's 135 beats per minute. The bed dead opposite, which the first lady was in there, was an ex-Commonwealth Games athlete. No shit, I Googled her. She's now got a mystery illness she's had for a year and is losing weight like an Ethiopian back in the 1980s and looks like skeletal walking. The woman in the bed, number 3, who is still there, sounds like she's been working with asbestos for 30 years and she's never smoked in her life. And she's got these mystery growths on her lungs. I listened to the doctor describe it, and he said they look like lymphoma, but they're not lymphoma, so we don't know what they are, and we're not going to start chemotherapy yet. And then the Commonwealth athlete woman, she got kicked out this morning because it's bank holiday weekend coming up, and they're trying to empty all the beds. And then there's a young 23-year-old girl that came in, and she hasn't eaten for 7 days. And she's got pains in her back. She can't breathe. She's got a racing heart as well. And again, it's a mystery as to why she's sick. And I'm just sitting there listening to this over the past 3 days. And all the doctors are walking around saying everything except the obvious arm spear coincidence. And 2 of the women I heard on the first day say that one of them was in the vulnerable category and she's going out for a booster as soon as she leaves. And the Commonwealth Games lady said she's had 3, but she's not going to have any more, and stop the conversation there.
Does she? Was there no escalation of conversation there? Like, does she think it's from the arm spears?
No, well, the woman with the asbestos lung, who's like 85, 90 years old, never smoked in her life, I heard her tell the doctor. Her daughter, I heard her saying to the doctor, well, Mum only started getting sick after her second arm spear.
Right.
And, her daughter pretty much, but her daughter's wearing a painter's duff mask the whole time she's in there, but then her mum's got growth on her lungs, so you can understand her doing that for her mum,
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah, but it's honestly, bro, it's absolute carnage in there. It's absolute carnage, and
Wow.
none of but then the staff in there are walking around, most of them without masks on. A few of them have still got them on, but most of them 0 masks.
Right.
Wow.
For me, what a first caller.
Yes.
We haven't even got past
Straight down to
then-
business. I haven't even
and
done
then
like the sponsors or
let me-
anything yet.
Let me put the icing on the cake, Mo. I went in this morning to give my mum breakfast because we just don't trust the motherfuckers to feed my mum because mum's paraplegic because of the MS. She's got no muscle shit. I was in there this morning. Dad comes back this afternoon and says, "Oh yeah, they were trying to kick everybody out this afternoon because they just had positive cases of COVID in the hospital. Oh, sorry, COVID. So they're going to have to and they were literally." The woman opposite, who's got the resting heart rate of 135, they're trying to go home. The poor woman can't live on her own, and she's getting dizzy spells, and she can't stand up. And they're trying to kick her out of the hospital because allegedly there's COVID inside there again. And this happened in the space of me leaving from 8 a.m.
What's that new variant called?
Altrazers or some, yeah.
Alcatraz.
Sure, it's the name of a demon or something. isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they can just do this at will now. They can just use COVID. They could just shout COVID.
Shit, right, we need to be really careful, please, about what we're saying.
They can just shout COVID and just use
Indeed.
it for.
Can we say
Well,
Hovis?
Hovis,
Say
yeah,
Hovis.
yeah, yeah.
Say Hovis, yeah?
Hovis. Well, I'm back there at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I'm going to wear that T-shirt you gave to me, Lance. It's cleaning in the wash from when I wore it on Wednesday. And I'm going to have my Reject the Soviet Union hoodie on. And tomorrow morning, I pity the fool who tries to walk into the hospital to feed my mother breakfast. I'll tell you that much.
Good. That's what we like to hear, mate.
Mate, I'm so sorry to hear about your mum.
Yeah.
And the
Bro,
other,
literally, I came back in 2019 because she was on death's door and she's still going now, you know? So she's a tough old bitch, bless her.
Well, stay strong, my man.
Yeah.
I will do, bro. I just thought I'd give you the update on the HS.
Yeah, mate, that's great. Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
this is the
thank you
Clan
very
World
much.
calling. This is the type of story we want to be hearing. So thank you for kicking it off with that.
Right, nice.
That story
and
tonight.
it's been really weird just listening to your voice. I'm going to have to hang up this call and watch you Mother Humpers on YouTube again. All right, bro.
All right,
we will
take care,
catch up
Matt.
soon, boys.
Yes,
Keep it
Yeah,
real
mate, definitely.
and, yeah, fucking fight on the good fight.
Cool, man. It's great to talk to you.
we
All
will
right,
do.
later, bro.
Take care,
See you
mate.
soon. Wow, more from Clown World, though.
Well, straight in at the deep end.
Yeah,
there,
that was the
wasn't it?
deep end, yeah.
Yeah. Before we look at the awful content of Clown World, we like to fire up a device called the catalytic converter. This piece of ancient Ramesh technology basically means that all of this terrible Clown World media, we can use it and fuel this machine to try and have some spiritual, or at least maybe not progression, but we can at least get some comedy out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, there is quite a lot of sludge. This is straight to the point, family-friendly drag show. This way to the children. I think we can all. I think Shakti would probably like to flash up this machine. We'll give her the big red button to press.
This is heavy duty as well. This will take a whole family.
There's a whole family
Get
of
them in
rainbow
there.
drag warriors. Yeah.
Of the old alphabet LGBTQ fucking mafia.
Okay. So here's something you gave me here on the right. We didn't give it to me. So I caught this off
a
you.
fucking statue, man. My mate sent it to me. It's like, this is a genuine thing outside the. So you've got a transgender thing here in Denmark, and it's outside the fucking women's museum.
Wow. This is so great. So brilliant. We can live in this world where we can have this. An 18-year-old boy died when doctors tried to create a vagina for him using part of his colon. His colon was used because puberty blockers stopped growth of his genitals, which meant there wasn't enough tissue to do the penile inversion surgery. Trans teen died from vaginoplasty complications during landmark Dutch study used to justify child ... I've just put mutilation there where the ... is.
Wow.
Major complications began just 24 hours, within just 24 hours of the surgery. I think we should rename this headline. 18-year-old boy dies after doctor's attempt. Dangerous experimental
experimental mutilation.
Yeah, experimental mutilation on him. What the fuck? They didn't think about it, right? So to make, to do vaginoplasty, they basically turn your penis inside out and put it inside, right? Which in its own is horrific.
I must
enough.
admit, I'm not familiar with researching this topic.
But they're saying that this guy didn't have enough penis tissue because he'd already been taking hormone blockers, so they had to use part of his colon. Isn't your colon isn't that an organ that you need for like a bodily function?
But yeah,
are you
I
actually
mean,
speechless, Andy? PG?
Prime Clown World. I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
Basically, I think they used one of his vital organs to try and
Is this a
construct.
regular thing? Like a lot of people doing this? Is this?
No, this was groundbreaking surgery. They normally use your penis to make a vagina, but he didn't have a penis.
So to improvise.
Yeah, they had to improvise and make it out of all of his.
So hang on. So he didn't have the penis. So did he just have a small dick in the first place, or have Big Pharma shrunk it?
No, shrunk it from puberty blockers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So Big Pharma have.
So they really snookered themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
They could have performed a successful, wholesome vaginoplasty if only they let him grow his own penis tissue.
To be fair, though, they've killed two birds with one stone. They've exterminated a peasant.
yeah, and
it was self-extermination. They crawled onto.
Look how many obedient other peasants they managed to employ in the extermination.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And everyone's getting paid.
Everyone got paid loads.
Getting paid.
This cost millions of dollars.
It's Clown World, man.
Cost $66 million. Right, more Clown World. Must say, I think this is the work of Al Gore on the left. It's brilliant. Netflix presents Elon Musk. Enki Musk. And on the right...
Oh my... What the fuck is this?
This is modern Clown World art, performance art.
Is this legit?
Yeah, it's really legit. Yeah, I took it... I picked it up from somewhere, but I'd seen it in a magazine article.
You farmed it?
Farmed it. Freelance quantum gardener. Yeah, I mean, basically, if you don't think this is okay, you're clearly some sort of bigot. Okay, so liver cancer rates are surging in Australia and climate change could be to blame. That's real.
That's the global climate warming change in full effect there.
So what is causing these high levels of liver cancer in Australia?
I mean, how the fuck do they link that up? You know what I mean?
Can you guess what it is yet, mate?
Yeah, it's brilliant. So what's the next one here? Africa needs to take 33 million children to the Britney Spears tour.
Just to get their progress back
on track.
Yeah, that'll sort them out.
So they're behind in the with the Soviet Union's timeline.
Soviet Union's quota of peasant extermination. The population and the birth rate in Africa is just like skyrocketing. We're well behind around here.
Right. So they need to go. They need to exterminate. They're running out of time from their when they get their welcome plaque to the Soviet Union. It's got the timeline.
Yeah,
and they're coming towards the end.
You've gone past your expiry date. So it's not an unexplained death if you took multiple experimental Britney Spears concert tickets before you died. That's from Matt earlier on. Time to admit you were mugged off. I wonder how many times Britney Spears has been to the Sam Smith concert.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, we're just about to finish up. Just put that there, please.
This fucking thing that's on screen now, I don't know. He's clearly mentally ill.
I suggest a furnace. So this is just thrown in for good measure. Someone posted this and said that we should all get one.
I think it was Anticoga.
Yeah, of course it was.
If anyone, we encouraged at our conference for the launch party on the Saturday night. If anyone, we encourage things like this at Rise Above.
Probably a special prize.
You want to dress up? Yeah, you would get a special prize.
Bonus anti-COVID memes thrown in for good measure. These are the closing moments of the show this week, guys. Call of Duty booster OAPs.
Excellent.
Love that. Before we look at the awful content of Clown World, we like to fire up a device called the catalytic converter. This piece of ancient Ramesh technology basically means that all of this terrible Clown World media, we can use it and fuel this machine to try and have some spiritual, or at least maybe not progression, but we can at least get some comedy out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, there is quite a lot of sludge. I've had a couple of conversations in the last couple of weeks about the smartwatch, and people, talking into the smartwatch, and they go, "Why didn't you get a smartwatch?"
Schwab watch.
And I'm just thinking, what, you honestly think I need another screen? Like, there's a really good comedy sketch by this American Asian comedian, Jimmy Chung or something like that. His name is, and he says, we've already got. I sit there all day in front of this screen, and then I pull this screen out of my pocket. Now you're just trying to put an even smaller screen in between this screen and this screen and that screen. It's like how the multiple screens of Clownwell.
Some people love that shit.
The glasses will be next, though, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. I was quite interested with those glasses, right? Because how long ago did they try to do the Google glasses? It's actually quite a long time ago now. I think we'd all be surprised to find it was probably about 8 or 10 years ago. They tried to bring out those Google glasses, and they had all the technology ready to go. And I remember reading a couple of stories about people getting beaten up in bars for wearing them, because people were literally like, "You're just recording me."
All right, yeah.
And they obviously didn't take off. Those new ones that have just come out now, the Ray-Bans that have got Facebook built in or Instagram, so you can just go like that.
Wow. To be honest, I've always wanted a pair of them because I go to concerts and I get a really sore arm holding a video camera like that. I thought it would be ideal again just to put it on there and watch the gig in peace. But yeah, it's this whole technology, AI and all this stuff, it's getting us further away from our humanity, really. We're dependent on all this stuff. If you look at schools back 150 years ago, their curriculum on that was like far advanced than what most of us are capable now. So are we really evolving, so to speak?
Well, here's the problem. I mean, I've been using the AI art to save a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I can see, for instance, if kids were allowed to be used ChatGPT in school, well, within one semester, there would be no need for them to learn to write anymore.
Right.
Because
how often do students write these days anyway?
Well, there's already papers out. There's a problem where, because
obviously you learn to write when you're like,
yeah, but that's the thing now. The tablet and the keyboard is so prevalent that they're cheap enough for every student.
Everyone's got a calculator on their phone, haven't they? Like, people really don't need to learn like basic maths. They could just do it,
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though: if this big Nibiru sun thing hits and all technology gets wiped out, like, should we have a backup analog thing for money? People talk about the Bradbury pound, and just everything should have an analog backup. But we're putting the whole world into digital, so that will just get wiped out, and then it'll be chaos because there's nothing to run anything.
Well, because they'd have removed you from your true self, which is the physical at the moment. In this dimension, we are a three-dimensional physical meat sack.
Yeah, and I think that's why when I'm making these plans with the Raw Academy for this learning portal, I think it's very important. Like we say, learn about the AI and the technology, because if you don't know about it and you are not able to master it, there's a point in the future where you would be in a situation, not just metaphorically, actually physically, where you'd be chucking a rock at a self-replicating nano robot, a self-repairing machine, right? So don't leave yourself in that point of ignorance, but also we do need to concentrate on the things that do take us back to basics, back into self, into presence, into nature, into the meat suit, and master the meat suit. I think for me and what we're trying to do with the Raw Academy, it's all about the balance. Because
you have to learn how to use Clown World.
Yeah, I mean, and
digitally,
and to harness the technology so it doesn't end up harnessing you.
Yeah,
I think what for me is not to use Clown World, but to revert it back to before Clown World.
Well, because if you look at it like this, if you go back and the last sort of revolution, you could say, would be the internet and the online world, and having to have your Apple ID or your Google ID to access online services. Now, some people, usually of the older generation, were very late to the party. And you see the way that those people behave when they go online. And I don't mean behaving badly on social media. I mean, they're like babies when they're logging onto things.
And they become vulnerable.
They're writing their passwords down in all the wrong, et cetera, et cetera. They're vulnerable. And those people, guess what? By statistical proof, you could show that the level that they get scammed on the internet is like not just double or triple, it's like to the power of 10 or 20. The people in those age group and then demographics, they are the literal prey of the internet scammers and the predators that are trying to get into your details, into your sort code and account number and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think as we're stepping into this new fourth industrial revolution, it is, like you say, it's important to realize that that stuff is going to get us away from your humanity. But if you don't have any knowledge,
it's coming anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's not, no one's going to.
Well,
stop.
unless you really want to go back to basics and actually just exit and go full Amish.
And live like full army. That would be Amish.
Yeah. Actually, just go full Amish. Yeah.
I think you still need the balance, like you said before, Lance. I think it's a very important factor is to know, first and foremost, know your enemy.
Well, here's the thing, right? If all of this stuff, and we had like a Skynet situation where all of this was automated and run by AI, and these self-governing communities were starting to be cracked down by droids. If these self-governing communities didn't have any knowledge of that nano Schwab technology and AI, they wouldn't be able to build any defenses.
Man,
no.
ChatGPT didn't even know about fucking Skynet. I had to school it.
Well, you were teaching ChatGPT.
Well, I was like, so what's the deal then? You're going to take over the world and kill humans or what? That's my opening statement to it.
Have you had any interactions with AI, Billy? Have you had to go on ChatGPT, or have you produced any pictures on these little apps?
ChatGPT, but I've got a couple of softwares that you type in one word and it builds you a website. Like type in plumber, then you've got plumbers.
I need that shit in my life.
Yeah.
So that's what the technology should be used for. This is the good of that technology.
I see it as massively as a double-edged sword. It could stop people from exercising their creativity. It could stop them from being creative in the first place. But I think in the hands of the right creator, it could be used to massively expand your creativity as well.
I think so.
Pink Floyd said that with the technology back then. They were criticised for just being. They said, "Well, give it to somebody else then and see what they do with it." So it's a tool. It depends on the person.
Exactly, it's a tool. It's no different to the Stone Age man having a little pick in his in his bag for a stone tool. We've got electronic and digital tools now.
I mean, like the rate I've been able to create images and therefore create visions of what we're trying to do.
Heavy.
No, it is heavy, and hey, some people have turned their nose up at it and they don't like it. Well, not when things change very rapidly, and you try to adapt. There is going to be some broken eggs in that omelette. That metaphysical omelette.
If you had the notion that AI is like Satan, though, it's like it's going to overtake humanity, and then some people claim that it get to a point where.
Right. Well, I've heard people say it's like using a Ouija board, right? Even with doing this. Okay, so I use Midjourney, which is there's two really big ones for the text to image generator. There's Midjourney or Stable Diffusion.
Oh, there's another one as well. I can't think what it's called.
Now, as far as I know, what it actually does is it takes your command on a whole set of multi-parameters that you need to learn, and then it takes all of the images from the internet and it swabs them all together and comes up with something else. But from what's already there, and this is why there are already copyright suits coming up from digital artists, because they can see the likeness of their work in what's being generated by Midjourney. Well, guess what? If you put loads of digital art online.
Well, I'll tell you where it comes from is because, especially with Midjourney, you can put in a style of the Renaissance or style of, I don't know, a famous like Renoir or someone, whoever it is, and it'll put it in that style. So, yeah, that is a kind of a rip-off of that artist style. However, it's still not...
But the only way that it knows what the text command is by referencing what's already on the internet. That's how it works, because I've looked into it quite a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So, I've been researching AI for years, Billy, and I've heard all of these arguments that put forward that we could be bringing forth some sort of entity. I've looked into the church that's worshipping the coming AI god. Yeah, that already exists and stuff. So,
black goo as well. We heard of that.
The black goo thing, yeah, that absolutely intrigues me. I don't really know an awful lot about it, but it appears in a lot of pretty seminal films, and it's like the Red Mercury thing as well.
Well, this is what Godvaz was saying was the Jesus's blood.
Yeah. Have you heard of the creator on YouTube?
I'll say his name properly.
Called his. Oh my god!
You can't say.
No.
We call him Godvaj. It's like, it looks like Goj Vlamast. It's a Flemish word.
God, like Namaste or something.
Yeah. Wait.
God gave Lamste.
Yes.
He
Crater Earth.
Talks about the moon being.
Yes.
Yeah,
What do you? How do you pronounce his name?
I pronounce it as God gave Lamstey.
God gave Namster. Yeah.
Lamstey. God gave Lamstey, but that's just.
We call him Godvag.
Because we can't say his name.
But I'll tell you a story. He watches this show, mate, and we watch him as well. And we often critique his stuff. Well, we never don't critique. We just admire it. I've asked him to make a special video for people that are attending the event. Right. And this week he emailed me back and he made it. I'm not going to drop it now. You have to come to the event. But what I'm going to say, anyway. In this video, he addresses the Rise Above audience, right? And he says for the first time ever his name. We say Godvaj. And the way he pronounces it, mate, in Flemish
is unreal.
It's unreal. It's like the forbidden, ineffable, unspeakable word of God. It's fucking mental. I never expected it to sound like this. Big shout out to Godvaj, aka Wim.
God gave Lamstey. I was quite close to it.
Yeah.
No, not in reality, but
after the event, I will play it on the show. He's made a special video. It's 3 minutes 30 seconds long, and we're going to put it on the projector on the opening night of the event for everyone. So that's a little special treat. But yeah, hearing him say his own name on camera for the first time ever was like a moment. I was like, oh my God, I think I even dropped my drink on the floor or something. It's one of those moments. Right, let's get back to Clan World. What have we got here? So,
what do you think of this idea that we are living on a globe, except the globe is much bigger?
Bigger, yeah.
The greater,
that's what
Earth.
He says as well.
The greater Earth theory, yeah. I've got a lot of time for that, and that for me that kind of explains why, the whole level water thing. Well, if we're in some sort of crater, it's basically like a pond,
in a fish bowl,
like a pond. Yeah, it makes sense. This was another story this week.
Yeah, more fucking retardation.
So Netflix, in the first time, has lost like millions of subscribers, and it was exactly the same time that I think it was Apple brought out the pregnant man emoji, and also Netflix has released this. He's expecting.
Wait, there's a pregnant man emoji.
Yeah, there's more than one. There's a whole series of pregnant.
Seriously?
Man emojis. Yeah, people have got rid of their smartphones and gone for burners because of it.
Oh my days!
Oh, Helen says the dogs are saying hello to the Ra family. Hello, Inner Guardians dogs.
Good evening, Mrs. Guardians.
Mrs. Guardians. Okay, so this is the thing as well.
Oh my God!
And we've already made the distinction between people who are gay and trans and this crazy trans rainbow agenda. So if anyone's wondering if we're right-wing bigots or not, please go back and listen to other shows when we've explained that in detail. Big difference between this sort of deliberate inversion here that they're filling kids' fucking minds with.
If you just Google, someone sent this to me earlier, a screenshot. If you just put into Google, can men get pregnant? It comes up straight up as yes. This is more common than you may think. I mean, no.
It links into a story I'm going to cover in a second regarding Disney as well. So keep this in your minds about this agenda.
Disney and Epstein.
Just chuck this in for good measure. This is obviously from Sagehead.
Rothschild arms.
Is that Barack Obama
with Hillary Clinton
having a lunchtime meeting?
Then we've got the sign of the pub. It's a fucking pentagram, inverted pentagram
everywhere. There's like the seal of Lucifer.
The seal of Lucifer, there. Perfect, and look on the chimney at the top. There's a fucking goat's head coming through, a ram's horn coming through the chimney.
It's like a Where's Wally picture. You've got to carry on looking at it to get the next occulted level.
God, you wouldn't want to live next to all of that, would you?
Shout out to Lord Doobsworth, Art Matters, Bath North East, everyone else tuned in. And we've got 365 days a year. Rise Above Live.
Rise above, generate, rise above,
okay.
Rise above.
Oh, we got some stats.
This is one of those stories where I'm going to have to use some heavily occulted Aborigine slang language to avoid Al Gore butt fucking me live on air. Right?
So, guys, if you don't understand what we're talking about, go back to the ABC of Rise Above.
Go back and learn the alphabet, peasants. Right. So this new H word, that is we're going to call it hippopotamus. It's come out in the last couple of weeks. There's been a hippopotamus pandemic with kids. Now, obviously, the first injection into the narrative from the Soviet info lords is that it's caused by the people's pandemic and the virus. However, it very quickly, and I'm reading left to right here. If you look in the middle, this is from the Journal of Hepatology. So I guess they study hippopotamus at a minute level, right? They said
Issue 3 on March 22nd, 322.
Yeah. Immune-mediated hippopotamus with the modify your RNA, Britney Spears, is no longer an element of coinciditis. It's actually confirmed. Okay, you've got to watch your eyes above to understand what I just said, or you can just read the screen. So, when I read this today, and I was actually sent some of this by Tara Slim and other people as well, right? I did a bit of research, and the first thing that literally popped onto my lap straight out the rabbit hole was this thing on the right. It's a note from Public Health England that came out on the 27th of November, 2020. And it's actually, I'll let you read it and zoom in because I'm not going to read it out. But what it basically is, it's a note to people that are administering the Britney Spears at the concert. And it basically says a prerequisite of doing that is you have to have had a hippopotamus inoculation before you go there. And if any reason you get accidentally Britneyed while you're administering it to other concert goers, you have to immediately rush to get a hippopotamus injection.
Wow.
Now, the naysayers will say, well, if that needle had hippopotamus on it from someone that was infected, you need to have the... Wait a minute, is there one of these for every single infection that could have gotten the needle? Or is it just hippopotamus? Makes you wonder. If you are at the Britney Spears concert and you're dishing out lifetime achievement tickets, right, and you accidentally Britney yourself, why have you got to rush to go and get inoculated for hippopotamus?
Interesting.
Very interesting. That's a new one for the alphabet, hippopotamus. Okay. So, let's keep an eye on this story because this only came out this week and we can add it to the list of other
It's a freshie, guys.
Yeah, it's freshie. Other immuno diseases that are getting piled onto the massive heap of the people's pandemic. So, see how
I'd be curious to know what they actually do with the needles once they've used them.
Well, Master Lee, there's no
like in the bin with the mask.
Yeah, like there's no mask
probably
bins
just
like we've discussed with the fucking biohazard bins.
No, I think they rebag them, send them round to another centre.
Reuse them, yeah. That would be more efficient.
Sterilise them in graphene.
They might spit on them and then clean them.
Yeah, quick spit and polish.
Wipe them.
So, anyone can have a look into this and make sure I'm not just making it up. Before we look at the awful content of Clown World, we like to fire up a device called the catalytic converter. This piece of ancient Ramish technology basically means that all of this terrible Clown World media, we can use it and fuel this machine to try and have some spiritual, or at least maybe not progression, but we can at least get some comedy out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, there is quite a lot of sludge. I think we've got to do the graphic back one. Let me just put that on here. That's better. No, definitely not that
So
one.
to celebrate Lord Sausage Fingers as King Sausage Fingers, you can add some style by adding the official emblem to your custom branded clothing. And if you know everything about Pizzagate, you'll know what this means.
We should put that on the t-shirt for Auntie Coviet as well. Don't forget, Auntie Coviet t-shirts are going to be available
I don't think
on the
people
website
want to be
very soon.
walking around
No, definitely not.
with that.
Right. Oh, here's a good meme by Future Ghost. I believe Future Ghost used Al Gore to make this meme. Because remember I was saying last week...
Oh, this is a Schwabian blend then.
Yeah. It's like got a full body. It's got like a Schwabian blend on top. You see how it's all
Schwabian undertone.
Yeah, Schwabian undertones. Oh, can someone get me some more of that fucking sweet cider? Smell. So, can you sort me out, please? With some ice. Thank you, Snell. Right, so if anyone, I know some people don't like the AI art, all the flashy lights, but we don't care.
Oh, come on, get with the program.
Yeah, so, right, I told the memesters, because there were some comments, I feel neglected. Not neglected, I feel moribund, like useless, because, like, now you can smash out Al Gore images. What does it leave for us? Give me some scraps. Right, I said, listen, memesters, this is what you need to do. You need to harness that fucking Al Gore technology. You need to get the characters you want from the fucking your
From Clown World.
From the Clown World. From your what is it? What's the Parasite Media? Fucking global Parasite Media. Your global, So we've got to remember our own terms, mate. So yeah, get your Clown World global Parasite Media like screenshots where you make your memes.
Yeah.
But then
your GPM.
Yeah, your GPM, sorry. Yeah, get your GPM meme material, but then you use the Al Gore to make the sick background. Can you hear these peasants?
Listen to the peasantry in the green room.
Fucking hell.
Because someone shut the door to the studio. Nice one, Chris.
Do we need a red light on the outside the door or something? Fucking hell.
No flavoured one because Andy PG's.
Oh, Andy PG's fucking next.
Well, I bought around a 10-pint thing of cider and there's about half a pint.
No, there's
left.
another box. There's another box in the shed, 20 litres.
Yeah, not of the nice rhubarb one.
Oh, no, of course not. You fucking rhubarb cider. Where were we? Right, now we're getting down to business. So I told them, use Al Gore to make like some epic scene that you've never even seen before. But, use it inventively and then Schwab your fucking meme material on the top of it.
Yeah.
And Future Ghost picked up the gauntlet, mate.
So let's just break this down. What we've got? We've got King David.
King David is some sort of
It's
like Joan of Arc like character.
And then we've got, is that Tate? Is that Andrew
It
Tate?
is Andrew Tate. That will annoy
With
people.
a bow
won't
and
it?
arrow. And then it's Kevin Spacey.
That's not Kevin Spacey. That's
Is it
Alex Jones.
Yes, it is Alex Jones. Isn't it?
Kevin
So I'm
Spacey.
looking at this from the side of the screen. But I could tell that was Andrew
Shots
Tate.
fired. You just called Alex Jones Kevin Spacey.
He
bro.
does look like that from this angle.
A little
if
bit,
you
a little
sit
bit.
sat here.
So, I mean, it's a fantastic meme. That putting that triad of characters together, that is it's got its own like.
And I wonder how long this took Future Ghost to get together with the AI to get to grips with it. Because you know what I mean? It takes a few goes.
Well, it does. Or you could get it to come up with some sick thing like that and then just get the right faces. It depends. But it's good work.
Yeah, it's great work.
It works. And then, does anyone remember we were talking about the Nashville shooter that is just full of 33s?
During the season of Sacrifice.
Yeah, obviously. And, this is from AJ, who watches, he's a long-time viewer of the show, he's from around here as well. He used to come to the protests. He's a bit of a big fan and sort of, sends stuff back and forth for Human Vibration. And she talks about templates a lot, yeah? So 11, which one's 11 out of Stranger Things and which one's the shooter? I don't know. But yeah, it's a template thing. I just saw this, in these Clown World Schwab shows, I do make some pretty weird juxtapositions, but sometimes that's what the good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mate.
Absolutely.
This is getting straight to the point. Mr. NPC.
I talk about juxtapositions,
Another one by
putting these two
Arnie Covey.
random things together. Mr. NPC's drinking his prime. He's had his Britney
He's
Spears.
masked up with a Rainbow Mafia.
He's got Rainbow Mafia fucking balaclava on, and he's waving his compliance flag. And then on the right-hand side, juxtaposed with it, we've got man ends his life after an AI chatbot encouraged him to sacrifice himself to stop climate change. I'm not going to lie, I haven't double-checked this.
No. I found this on...
Is it real?
Yeah. Apparently this is real.
It's not a meme?
No. This isn't a meme.
Wow. I say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
He's obviously, mentally ill to even listen to the AI chatbot in the first place.
Well, maybe he...
I mean, to the point where you're going to end your life.
Maybe he was already suicidal.
Yeah, exactly.
And he asked... Maybe he asked the AI chatbot, should I kill myself? And the AI chatbot probably looked at it and said, well, if you did, at least you would reduce your carbon footprint.
It did the maths.
Yeah. He quickly calculated. Like,
if your life's worth.
Because obviously, right,
hell.
any fucking Al Gore chatbot is likely to be feasting upon, like, literally Al Gore material. What Al Gore said, do you know what I'm saying? So the AI chatbot is going to primarily harvest all of the information about any given subject from the first, second, third page of the internet in that order, right? That's what you would assume.
Yeah.
So the AI chatbot will truly be fully versed on Greta Greta mythology.
Programmed by George Soros.
yeah.
Essentially.
So it's like, should I kill myself? Well, yes, because you can reduce your carbon footprint. It would be good for the peasant sphere if you did this. So it's one less peasant anyway.
So then it's taught itself that that's a good thing. So that's going to then go and promote that.
Well, it's
other peasants.
It might have been the first time it was asked that question, and it got like a 100% success rate. I came across this and I just thought it was so funny. This was a sponsored ad on Facebook.
Again, it's just pathetic. It's actually very childish. Like, for people to subscribe to this, it's actually very childish. Like, to even like raise a flag and do all that. It's just shows,
not the Ukraine.
Shows how fucking stupid
it's just
you
Ukraine.
really are.
You fucking bigot. How can you say it wrong? And you spoke to change the name of Chicken Kiev. That's not racist.
Who's that helping? Who's this helping?
Just a very serious note to all of this, right? For all these people that are sponsoring this Ukrainian Azov battalion, you know what they're doing to any young Russian soldiers that they're capturing?
Go on.
They're actually castrating them and sending them back to Russia. Which
Really?
totally goes against. Yeah.
I also heard what they were doing, which is against the Geneva Convention, is they were binding them up, and not only they would get an assault rifle, and with the butt they would kneecap them, so basically they probably can't walk again, and leave them bound up and not tend to the wounds. But not only that, if you do that to put your prisoners of war, the etiquette, believe it or not, is actually to wind up their shorts so that the fibres from their trousers don't go into the open wounds, and therefore they don't have to actually have their legs cut off. Well, they weren't doing that. They were just kneecapping them with their dirty combats on, leaving them down. So all of these soldiers are basically going to have both their legs amputated. It's like, that's dark. And
this is all being sponsored.
Yeah, this has been sponsored by people that are waving yellow and blue flags.
Sponsored by Novaflip, mate.
Yeah. Lee, did you read that article that I sent you today? That was that Russian military intelligence leak that was saying about the drugs that they were given to the Ukrainian soldiers.
Yeah, very briefly, yeah.
Yeah.
Opiates.
No, like a massive cocktail, what? Just like. Oh, have we got someone on the line?
Oh.
Sorry, we've got someone on Skype. Is that Rob, Esoteric Night of Malta?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
All right, we'll call him back in a minute when we haven't got so many people.
Yeah, Rob, if you're tuned in, mate, we'll call you back. We've got someone on the line currently.
There's only so much the Queef Master can take.
Yeah.
They actually allowed on Twitter this week this MP from the Conservative Party, is an American now, and he's actually tagging a journalist out there that's pro-Russian and tagging the Ukrainian hit squad to take her out.
Wow.
And that doesn't get you banned on Twitter, but calling someone, mentioning an injection will get you banned, but you're allowed to basically send a death threat to someone if you're supporting the right side. It's madness.
Yeah. You can't even call someone a mong on Facebook now.
No.
They were selling...
you get banned.
On eBay, I don't think it's still there, but they were selling T-shirts about killing Russians. So they allowed that for a while.
It's very strange. Very strange.
And yeah, no one asks questions. This is the thing, like, even obviously for these people that have a total ignorance about the situation in that part of the world, the historic situation, even like the last 10 years, they don't even think to ask the question as to why, the support for one side is completely unanimous and it's actually okay. Like, when was it okay in like the Iraq War to make T-shirts saying "kill the Taliban" or we're gonna take out the Saddam Hussein Basque forces, kill the Iraqi soldiers? I don't remember anyone making T-shirts of that.
Well, it's not even kill Russian soldiers; it's just kill a Russian. I saw some T-shirts on there, on eBay, and kill Putin.
This is what I was going to say. Right, the whole argument, the binary pendulum of whether Putin is actually going against the Schwabian agenda or not, or is he part of the plan? Russia was on the world.
He's well in with the WEF.
Right. But
Or he was anyway.
If in the next couple of years it turns out that Russia doesn't take part in the Great Reset, well, all the rest of the world doesn't, and Russia continues to get richer, working on their own economy and stuff, will people still say that? Do you reckon?
I don't know, because they're communist anyway. So the goal of the Great Reset is to make the whole world communist, isn't it? Well, one of the goals.
Russia's not really communist.
They're not communist. They're not communist. I wish they were. The thing is, with Putin, I believe that he did obviously go along with the WF, but he's a diplomat, and
I just think we need to be very careful after what happened with Trump and everyone trusting Trump and.
No, I'm just saying if, because obviously Putin isn't going to be voted out, is he?
No, that's what I mean.
No. So we can. The proof will be in the Putin. Right?
Nice.
Yeah, see?
That needs to be. That's a meme, guys.
No. This is why I wanted to bring it up.
Mate, that should be on a T-shirt.
That's why I wanted to bring this up, because the good news is as long as Putin doesn't get taken out, we can actually bank on the proof being in the Putin. If when other countries, for instance, Ukraine is basically this close to having the social credit system. I don't know if anyone's noticed this. I don't know if anyone's been watching.
I read about this.
Ukraine are this close to getting CBDC. Central bank digital currency, right? And they're this close to getting it all on one app. This close. They're basically the European countries which are most further along, right? So if you look at this binary that's being created between Ukraine and Russia, Russia's the super bad guy. They've all got to die. Ukraine is the pinnacle of democracy, comrade, right? Well, if Ukraine are the first one to get properly fourth industrial revolution swabbed, they're all on central bank digital currency, and Russia don't do that, and Putin's still in charge, what can we say then? That's my question.
Well,
I'll move to Russia.
When I do this presentation, hopefully I can bring some of this to the forefront. But there could actually be two. Well, there could be many scenarios, but let's look at two possible scenarios. So, if Ukraine is meant to be this kind of new world, new age, or the spearhead of this kind of digital smart city type thing scenario, Putin could actually be like the controlled opposition to demolish, so that to demolish the Ukraine, so that would mean that Ukraine would have to be rebuilt, and then they could kind of swab in the rebuilding of Ukraine as this new super smart city. Yeah, that's one option. The other option could be that Putin knows that this is going to take place and he's against it. So he's actually fighting for it not to happen.
Mm. The funny. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, like, it's the classic two-option pendulum as usual, where you could look at it and think that he's totally wrecked the Great Reset because they're in panic now, or they seem to be in panic, and it means that energy and everything else they can blame. So he might be doing that on his own accord. But then he could also be doing that under their guidance to crash everything, which would ultimately lead to the same outcome anyway. And either way, they can, the energy prices, the food shortages, everything they actually need to usher something in, both will be caused, whether he's doing it for a good reason or not. They could potentially be caused from the same outcome. But then it would be hard to know which side he was on, because the outcome might be similar either way.
Or another way to put it is, whether he knows it or not, he is still the controlled opposition by him being allowed to do that, potentially, yeah.
But he could also be totally, in a way, scuppering the plans, and actually, if they've lost a control on resources, for example, they might find it more difficult to usher something in, potentially. Again, I've put quite a lot of thought into that, and I'm not really sure either way. My gut tells me I'm not his biggest fan, but my gut tells me he's kind of given them the finger, is what I would say. It's that he's had because he doesn't really fit in as a globalist. He's like to me he's like the ultimate nationalist. He's only ever shown an interest in Russia's best interests. He's never, he'll go along to these things and stuff, but it's all Russia based, whereas our lot all talk about democracy and globalism, which is the same term, just rebranded. And I don't know, just listening to him talk and stuff, it's always about, like taking back the Crimea and all that sort of stuff. It was always about Russia and Russia's trading force.
Are we assuming
putting
that
Russia back
it's
on the
actually
map.
Putin?
Oh, go on, Dom.
No, are we assuming it's Putin? Because the pictures that you see look totally different people to me, but or is that just me?
I don't know. I don't.
The picture, the images do look totally different. Like he's had some sort of facelift, at least if it is him.
But then I was looking at Biden looks different every week as well. So I don't know.
Biden looks different, and also with Putin, he just came from nowhere. He was a KGB operative, so he's appeared from nowhere, and now he's meant to be the archetypical bad guy of the West again, isn't he? It's the same old character seems to be playing over and over again. And I'm not saying he isn't good or bad. I suppose we'll never know, really, will we? But
Helen says he's had a facelift. Yeah,
is that something?
The only thing that I can point to which sets him apart from the others, and I'm not allowed to say this, we'll have to say the who, but he's been very anti the kind of pro-Zion US kind of Israel link, and he's not in that club, which to me, he actually booted out most of those oligarchs and bits, and I wonder that was always going against that other agenda. So I don't know. It's a strange one. I can't quite figure it out.
I don't think he booted all the oligarchs out, did he, Sage?
No, he didn't, because he couldn't. He couldn't physically do that to run the country, but he did put tighter controls on, and the ones that wouldn't toe his line didn't do very well after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
I mean, I've always thought that there's been several groups around the world that sort of run everything, and sometimes they're on the same side, and other times they're fighting against each other like snakes in a pit, if you like. And every now and again they disagree on something, and they're at loggerheads, and it's best man wins. Like corporate entities, sometimes. I don't know, Coca-Cola and Pepsi join together to do something, but behind the scenes, they're enemies. It's like a corporate deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just looks like a corporate deal of, because one thing we can't believe is that, well, none of us do, I know that, but like the wheat is all grown in Ukraine. I mean, we've never heard of anything like that, have we? That everything seems to come from Ukraine. Oil, wheat.
It's an easy one for them to blame on the food crisis, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we've all seen the profits from like these energy companies and stuff. They've soared, and we get told there's an energy crisis.
So it's weird how they call profits, isn't it?
I want to know what these profits are from these food firms and stuff like that. I bet they've got huge profits, but yet we're in a food crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, Ukraine has historically always been important in food. It was called the breadbasket of Europe. So it has always had. It might not have been talked about as much, but if you look into it, it was always an important farming territory. But the bigger issue is actually the fact that the sanctions mean that they can't get anything out of Russia, and Russia controls the supply from Kazakhstan, Belarus, and all those countries, which is a bigger version. And
the one thing, though, Serge, and I agree with you, is that during World War II, for argument's sake, and we weren't there, so I can't really say I was there, but when I look out my window, all I see is green fields. Surely if we're short of food, we'd round all the farmers up and say, right, guys, we need to plough your fields and et cetera, and grow loads of crops during this fantastic heat wave.
It's not, but it's not looking at it on a UK scale. It's about the export market in general. So because it all runs as one big, it's like a synchronistic system. If there's supply issues worldwide, stuff gets diverted. So we might not notice homegrown stuff here, but the problem is the homegrown stuff here, we've set ourselves up for a fall where we don't actually allow, even though, like you say, you see the farms, we don't grow everything anymore, because this whole globalism thing was that we could rely on markets from other places. Now, the food supplies of Africa and those sort of things are ones that rely on Ukraine and Russia more for grain. But the products of energy companies, the sort of waste products of the gas and oil industry, is what creates the chemical fertilizer. So if we can't trade with Russia and they're not going to sell any fertilizer, you will see farms, and it won't be this year because they'll have bought fertilizer this year already. If you were a farmer, you'd have bought your fertilizer for this year, last year. But I think the big problem is going to be this winter going into next year.
Yeah, what I look at, the West doesn't seem that concerned, as in the powers, that then if it was really that bad, I'm sure there'd be tanks running all over the place.
I don't think it's going to be like the case of like you can't buy anything, but it's more a case of the prices will increase.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
So,
yeah.
So that's why they're not worried, because they couldn't give a shit day whether you pay an extra 50p per loaf of bread. They don't care because they're not going to struggle themselves. But I think people who are living close to the bread line, and struggling already. I mean, my energy bill last year went from £90 to £200, and they're now talking about it doubling again in October. So, I mean, a £400 energy bill for a lot of families is unmanageable, isn't it? You can't, where do you get that?
Like the government will bail everybody out again.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know. It's going to be. I think the dark winter that everyone spoke about was predicted a bit early, and I don't like to get to doom and stuff, but I do think this winter might potentially be a bit more difficult than ones that we've had in the past, because it's about surpluses. If there isn't, I mean, you just wouldn't want to live in Germany. Basically, they're stuffed. I mean, they can't. They're buying electricity from France now.
Right.
The whole windmills and solar panels, and it doesn't work. They shut all their nuclear power stations, and they rely on Russian gas completely. So
they need to ring Greta up. She'll sort it out. She knows.
This doesn't make the mainstream, but they're actually talking about rationing hot water supplies already in Germany.
Wow.
And when we're in August.
You have stolen my childhood.
I'm feared in every girls' school in this country.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Before we look at the awful content of Clown World, we like to fire up a device called the catalytic converter. This piece of ancient Ramish technology basically means that all of this terrible Clown World media, we can use it and fuel this machine to try and have some spiritual, or at least maybe not progression, but we can at least get some comedy out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, there is quite a lot of sludge. Right, okay, we need to talk about the Dalai Lama, Conrad.
Oh my god, this didn't stop on my. I turned social media off. It got so literally everything was about it. Just hundreds of memes online about this.
So I guess everyone's seen it or knows about this, where the Dalai Lama basically stuck his tongue out and asked the kid to suck it. Suck my tongue. And the way he said it on the mic, like, suck my tongue. Like, it wasn't even sly. He didn't even push the microphone to the side. This is
obviously another one of these mass distraction combined with a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, but the funny thing,
of some kind.
Oh, of course, just humiliating the peasants that all believe in the Dalai Lama, isn't it?
Yeah,
because he's CIA stooge anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. He's taking
not the real. That's not the real Dalai Lama. Mate. No. Come on. They keep saying, the funny thing is they say that the Chinese want to get rid of him because they hate the Dalai Lama, but everyone doesn't know he's already a Chinese stooge anyway. It's a fucking joke. Anyway, so. One day after the Dalai Lama was caught on video asking a 9-year-old boy to suck his tongue, photo emerged of His Holiness with Democrat Mayor of College Park, Maryland, Patrick Wojahn, who was arrested for possessing child exploitative material. Right, okay.
There are no coincidences in the clown world.
Tell you what, they're fucking good memes though. and this is just the start. I mean, this one's pretty tame. I mean, on the first couple of days when this happened,
so we've got Sleepy Joe here taking a selfie.
This is the actual picture of him, and the kid was almost kissed the Dalai Lama's tongue.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
But I thought the weirdest thing is people were surprised. What is so surprising?
Yeah, but to do it out like he's obviously known. Look, there's cameras there and people are watching and shit like that.
Mate, he was on stage in front of like thousands of people, and it was being televised live to millions of people. Like everyone around the world that believes in the Dalai Lama was watching this.
It's fucking weird, man.
Thomas Sheridan calls this part of the wave. I think he put it under this. He has this thing like, you know, we say like clown world or like the greatest apocalypse ever.
Yeah.
He calls what's going on the wave function collapse.
Right. Okay.
Where like. You know, you see things that would sort of like traditionally be like this, and now they're just backwards.
Go into shit.
Just fall into pieces. So I think he often names it wave function. I think he put this under wave function collapse. But maybe like, you know, like the end part of the Kali Yuga when it just gets really fucking bad, like right now. Right now, anti-COVID, it was gross, but the memes were awesome. The one on the left isn't a meme. Look at this. Why do they always have the M? I suppose anyone...
It's for devil horns, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to say devil's advocate. Anyone that puts their face on the front of Time magazine is going to have the devil's horns, isn't it?
Yeah.
By default.
It's a highly satanic magazine.
Of course. Father Kronos, Time, Janus magazine. So the Dalai Lama, the survivor... J-Mag. Janus Monthly. Right, so Auntie Koviat says nonsense.
We didn't even get to this.
We didn't even get, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
exactly where we got to.
Yeah.
Look at that for a coincidence. I literally spun the wheel on the little mouse eye here, and we got straight to the Jimmy. So I think we've obviously got on the left Russ Kieran's fine work, the Dalai Lama. Right. Big shout to everyone tuned in. Auntie Koviat, Michael D'Souza, ZYX, Lion's Den. I see all of you. Big shout to everybody.
Johnny Fogg there in the chat. We see you there.
We see all of you. Okay. It is Friday night. It's Rise Above. Yeah. In just a moment, we've got the bartender.
It's fucking people coming in and out of the studio.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little mobile camera in a minute. I think I might show everyone what's going on in the green room. Just so you know that we've got loads of Ramesh peasants around here. So, bless up to the Magi. Big shout to Milski. So many Dalai Lama memes. More than you could probably shake a stick at. Dolly Lama. Okay. When you find out it's normal in Tibetan culture to go ask kids to suck your tongue. And we've also got like Prince Andrew Lama. Yeah. No surprises there.
Wow.
Are you okay? Did you just fall off the crucible? What? Now, obviously, then like the Dalai Lama started to get mixed together with Philip Schofield.
Of course, because that's a natural evolution of memery, surely.
The Schofield Lama. Now, I mean, I think on the last dip into Clown World, we actually did a little bit on Philip Schofield, didn't we?
The one on the right there, that's really good.
That's pretty good. I don't know who like
Schofield is Grandmaster Jimmy.
crudely fashioned this Schofield Lama on the left. Like that is a proper cut and paste job. This isn't someone from our mean stable.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
This was quantum farming, no?
That was just a bit of free range quantum gardening gone mad. But on the right hand side, this is fine
work by Auntie Koviat, as per regular.
You know, Russ Kieran's still in operation. We still get Future Ghost every now and then. He's sort of like a seasonal memester. He comes like once a month or once a season with a real killer. But as far as I'm concerned, the memestress, Auntie Koviat,
I reckon.
She has the crown right now. She's absolutely untouchable.
Because it's the difference. She's a different kind of memetician to Russ Kieran. Russ Kieran was responsible for all the Kovi art.
Well, he actually created
the concept of Kovi art.
Yeah, the whole genre of Kovi art was created around Russ Kieran's work, to be fair. No, we've got to give him props for that. He's like Wiley. No, he is. He came into the meme game.
He's like the Wiley of the meme world.
He's the Wiley of the anti-Koviat meme game. He came into the meme game and he used the scene to produce his own thing, and he got called Koviat. He's like, memes. I don't call them memes. You're talking about memes.
There's a clear difference between memes and Koviat. There is a clear
There
difference.
is a clear difference. I mean, let's break it down. On the left, you could say this is a very crude attempt at Covey art, but you can't be coming in with these crude methods like this. But a beautiful meme on the right from Monty Covey. Right. I mean, we could talk about the Dalai Lama.
I mean, this is.
Do you know who that is? Who he's meeting there? That's fucking Keith Rainier. He's the leader of the Nexium cult. That dude has an IQ of 240, reportedly. I don't know if that's true, but that's what's reported in Clown World media, right? Now, for anyone that doesn't know, the general standard IQ of a Clown World genius, do you know what it is?
It's about 160, no?
166.
Is that? Of course.
I think so.
Of course.
No, I don't know if it's 166, but you're right, it is 160.
Yeah.
So you're Stephen Hawkins, you're Albert Einstein.
That's what they're
You know what? You're proper top level Clown World expert geniuses.
Yeah.
Right, their IQs are always 160 without fail, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's standard 160. They're basically all clones. So I'll just turn your mic on. Who's that over there? Who said that?
I think that was a bartender.
Nice one. Speaking to
a bartender gobbing off on the mic. No?
Yeah. Shut up, bartender. So
so this dude's up there.
Mate, he's got an IQ of 240. He's the leader of Nexium, and there he is meeting the Dalai Lama. He paid £1 million. The Dalai Lama was paid $1 million to endorse Keith Rainier's sex cult. What the fuck? Wow.
So, dude, you took the money, man.
Do you notice anything? Numbers here. Look.
We've got a 17, of course,
and
a 3 and a 3.
Yeah. Look down here, comrades. If you can see that 3-3. Another great piece here by Auntie Covey. Are you ready to roll, Bartender? All right, okay. What time are we on? All right, we're 10 minutes past 11. It is Ramish Radio tonight, in case you guys didn't know. It's a regular.
We're just having a party in the studio.
We're actually having a party.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you in a minute. Right, Bartender, roll the track.